The Big Ten champion versus the Big 12 champion. Hamiti and Carr, it is time here on UFC Fight Pass.
Up next for the Wisconsin Badgers at 165 pounds, the two-time All-American number 4 ranked Dean Hamiti. And his opponent, the 4-time All-American 2021 NCAA champion, the number 2 ranked David Carr.
David Carr, the 4-time Big 12 champion, the 11th in Big 12 history. 4-time All-American, the 12th in the tradition-rich history of Iowa State. What are you most looking forward to in this one, Jim?
Well, I tell you what, you're going to see a lot of footwork, and Hamiti likes to stay out there in distance, and he gets those quick angles, and if Carr takes just a straight-on shot, this is what I'm talking right there. He's really good at his counter wrestling here and getting that quick angle here. He jumps out with both legs out to the side. He's pretty good at finishing. Good wrestler in the top position, and I think each wrestler is going to have a difficult time finishing on each other, and I don't know if this mat's big enough for these two guys.
These two wrestled last November in Jacksonville in the Wisconsin-Iowa State duel. It was Carr getting the better end of the Badger that day, 7-5. Dean Hamiti, 6th at the national tournament last March in Tulsa. Beat Patrick Kennedy 9-6 to win the Big Ten title in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, you see Hamiti just basically staying out there in pretty square stance.
Wow.
And that was a shot, that was a setup shot. If he got it, of course he could, but he switches off to a single leg here, and this is where Hamiti can be dangerous. And when he gets elbow deep on the leg, you see where Carr is going high leg over with that left leg over the top to be able to clear that arm off. And this is what I was talking about. They're so good at scrambling and moving and maintaining. Do we have enough mat space?
Carr has a single leg on the edge as we near the midway point of the first period.
Look at the flexibility of Hamiti, though.
Carr looking to create some real estate, brings him back inside the circle.
And what Carr did a great job of, he came all the way back to the center. Sometimes you guys, they come back like a third of the mat. He's all the way back to the center. This is how you finish on a good guy.
Look at the balance and flexibility from Hamiti. Carr sticking with that single leg. Still plenty of time in the first. And the Cyclone. Unable to get the points. Hamiti continued to fight the position.
Now back in a reversal situation, and now Carr spending a lot of energy back down there. We'll see how committed he is to this shot.
What defense from Hamiti. Hard wizard. Now he picks an ankle.
He's got a chance to put him on his back, but he's going to go back the other way. Look at David Carr's flexibility as he's trying to go off the outside there. Again, we're talking about the cylinder. Right there, the feet were out, but the butt was still in, so the action continues.
This is outstanding wrestling in this first period. Hamiti trying to create some space. And it looked like they went out of bounds right there, Jim.
Yeah, we're not going to have a camera angle to figure it, but it's not going to make any difference.
Man, it looked like Carr had him dead to rights.
Well, I think what Coach Dresser wants to have happen here, they're going to do a video review of that. They're going to look at the first takedown, but remember, you have reaction times, right? Well, that hand hit the mat, and it looked like it did hit the mat, but it looked like Hamiti was in the process of reacting and getting back to his feet.
So I'm not exactly sure what the challenge is. I don't believe there is a challenge. It's just an official review. These officials can look at video at any time.
Yeah, but it was an official review that Kevin Dresser went out on the mat and suggested.
Here's another look. What do you see here, Jim?
Right there. I don't know if they've gone far enough back. This is where David was back in on the leg. And, okay, now you've got a situation where Hamiti bumps him back over and puts Carr back into jeopardy.
Picks that ankle. Look at
right
that.
there.
Slick.
Comes back right there. And at this stage right there, that's close. Either way. But I think if they go a little bit further back, they might. That's what Coach Dresser was suggesting that they look at, where Carr had the advantage. But what a great job by Hamiti for what, 45 seconds, keeping his balance there against an elite finisher, national champion, former national champion, David Carr.
Jim, I'm not sure on this, but could they be looking to see if it was a takedown for Hamiti on the edge?
Well, this is right here. This is the first sequence right here that they could be looking at here. This is where David's trying to finish in the middle of the mat. Yeah, right there was that. Now look at reaction time. He definitely had his weight on his hand right there. And I think that's what they were looking at. He was on his rear end there. He had the hand planted, and he didn't really quite have a whizzer in at that time. And that might be the points that they're looking at for Carr.
They continue to look at this.
And that's the case, they got to go all the way back to that moment. Right there, okay? So watch the right hand of Hamiti. He definitely plants it on the mat when Carr finishes this technique. Right here, right? It's planted on the mat. There's no whizzer at that point. Was that enough? You know, he gets reaction time from that now. Was that enough?
And reaction time is subjective.
Yes, it is. So, not going to call anything. They're going to go back up. I think that's fair.
So 24 seconds as these two combatants toe the Resolite center mat.
Get that long break right there. You know what I loved about that situation? The referees looked at it. They looked for a little bit more detail, and they didn't see it. And really, both guys probably had an opportunity to finish a takedown there, but no points.
So a scoreless opening period.
What I'm getting at is a quick decision.
So here Carr will go on bottom to begin second period. Carr won his national title in 2021 down at 157. Good return there from Hamiti as he plants Carr into the mats.
Yeah.
It's a good, committed, hard ride from Hamiti.
Yeah, you know what? And that's what you got to do right in this situation. You've been put in this match where you've got a 0-0 score. You got an opportunity to be in the top position. You got to continue to wrestle as hard as you could. I think Carr tried to step over that situation and made it look a little more perilous than it needed to be.
Caution on Carr. Looking to get that edge off the whistle.
But Hamiti's one of those guys, Shane, that can ride from both sides effectively. Okay, he'll switch from this side to the other side. See how he switches over to the other side? Now he's straight back, looking for a mat return. David Carr's making himself heavy, makes that turn back in, gets a quick escape.
1-0 for Carr.
Now remember what Carr was able to do, really tried to get to a single leg, but he did a blast double, all right, to get to that single leg.
Minute 20 here in this second period. 2-4 in the rankings at 165. Of course, Keegan O'Toole, the reigning national champ from Missouri, holding that top spot.
Carr looking to stalk, keeping his stance, right? Going off the elbow tie. There's a lot of hand fighting going on with that left wrist and the right wrist of Hamiti. Interlacting fingers. That's a good call here by Eric McGill. Get him out of that position here, get him back to center. Talk to him about it, get the wrestling going again.
60 seconds in the second. Hamiti from Joliet, Illinois, Joliet Catholic. Won 3 state titles, would have won a 4th most likely, but COVID canceled the tournaments in 2020 in Illinois. Another shot there as he darts into a single leg.
Notice how he goes high leg over right here in this position. He goes high leg over. That back knee almost crosses over the top, and now he gets in a better position to step back up. But the flexibility of Hamiti comes into play there. Does he have enough space there with that? He's driving across, but that whizzer, Hamiti basically staying in good position. Now he's tying Carr up here with this.
Incredible defense from Hamiti as he's able to square up. I mean, Carr's going to get that on 99% of the country.
Yeah, but he's not out of danger yet, and he gets the stalemate call right there. And again, that was a committed shot by Carr. He does get those on 99% of the people in the country, but there's a lot of really good wrestlers that won this 165-pound weight class. They don't concede anything.
So now Hamiti will go on bottom.
22 seconds of riding time for Hamiti. It'll be interesting to see whether Carr tries to basically do this in the top position, and a lot of it will depend on this first breakdown. Doesn't look like Carr is too committed to riding there.
There's
nice
a good
little
breakdown.
Sag ride right there. Gets the. And sometimes, Shane, when you know, Carr's had a hard time with that whizzer situation, and sometimes you solve that when you're trying to ride a guy. All right, so.
And now he's looking to roll him through with a tilt. He's got
it.
him loaded up, but he's got the tilt. Here come the near fall. Believe it was just a 1 count, Jim.
Yep. It was, but now riding time is going in favor of Carr. Can he go ahead and say that? Beautiful front trip right there. I love that technique. You need to go ahead and score on a guy like that. He keeps on walking forward like that. You can go ahead and hit that. Now, Hamiti, really in this situation, with not a lot of time left here, he's got to get out in 30 seconds or he gives up that riding time point. Carr sticking with him.
Look at Carr. He's erased Hamiti's 22 seconds, 36 seconds of his own, and here he was so close, needed a 2 count. You see the 1.
Yeah, that was a great call there because the shoulders were 4 inches or greater off the mat.
Crowd getting into this one here inside Humboldt High School. 1:02 remaining in the third, but keep an eye on that riding time.
Look for Hamiti to explode off the whistle. Come back up right there. Now make a big turn. Make a big turn.
This is where he's used that front trip.
Yep, right there. Now come back to the other side. It's okay to give up a stall warning in this situation to get that riding time point.
David Carr sinks in that claw ride. Seconds away from taking riding time over a minute.
Covering the fingers, Carr comes back and sits him back, and that's because he's got the over wrist right there. See how Hamiti was fighting there, really committed on this. He's got, wow, Hamiti is able to roll through on that.
Once again, he gets a 1 count.
But we're under 25 seconds.
The riding time is locked up for David Carr.
He's got a...
For the 3rd time, he gets a 1 count. He rides the Badger the entire 3rd period. 2-0. The Cyclone prevails.
Your team scored Iowa State 22,